Hello and welcome to Read and Learn English. Today, I bring you a powerful and emotional story that will help you improve your English while touching your heart. This story is about love, betrayal, and a shocking truth revealed at the worst possible moment. As you listen, try to notice the simple words and natural sentences. Now, let me tell you my story. My name is Ilara Voss. I am a wedding planner, and I have always believed in love. I am 28 years old, and I live in a small but beautiful town near the sea. My life was simple but happy. I spent my days helping couples plan their perfect weddings, making sure every detail was right. I loved my job because I believed every wedding was a promise of a beautiful future. But my own wedding, it did not go as planned. I was engaged to a man named Daniel. He was kind, calm, and always made me feel safe. We met 2 years ago when I was planning his friend's wedding. At first, we talked only about work, but slowly we became close. He would bring me coffee when I worked late. He listened when I was tired. And one day, he told me he loved me. When he proposed, I cried. It felt like a dream. My younger sister, Lyra, was also there that day. She smiled and hugged me, but something in her eyes felt strange. I did not understand it at that time. Lyra and I were very different. I was quiet and careful, but she was bold and charming. People liked her quickly. She could walk into a room and become the center of attention. Growing up, she always got what she wanted. I did not mind. I loved her, and I thought she loved me too. At first, she helped me plan the wedding. She gave ideas, chose flowers, and even helped me pick my dress. But sometimes, I noticed small things. She would talk to Daniel a little too long. She would laugh at his jokes more than I did. I told myself I was overthinking. One evening, about a month before the wedding, I came home early. I heard voices in the living room. It was Daniel and Lyra. They were laughing. I stopped at the door. I do not know why, but I did not go in. "You understand me better than she does," Lyra said softly. There was a pause. Then Daniel replied, "It's not like that." I felt my heart beat faster. My hands became cold. I walked into the room, and they both looked at me. Lyra smiled quickly, like nothing was wrong. "We were just talking," she said. Daniel nodded. "Yes, just talking." I forced a smile. "Of course." But that night, I could not sleep. Days passed, and the wedding got closer. Everything looked perfect on the outside. The dress was ready. The guests were invited. The venue was beautiful, but inside me, something felt broken. Still, I told myself to trust Daniel. I wanted to believe in him. I wanted to believe in love. On the morning of the wedding, I woke up early. My heart was full of both excitement and fear. My best friend helped me get ready. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I saw a bride. But I did not feel like one. "Are you okay?" my friend asked. "Yes," I said. "I'm just nervous." But I was not just nervous. I was afraid of something I could not explain. Then something strange happened. My phone buzzed. I looked at the message. It was from an unknown number. It said, "If you marry him today, you will regret it forever." My hands started to shake. I read it again and again. Who sent this? Why now? I tried to call the number, but it was turned off. I wanted to tell someone, but I didn't. I thought maybe it was a joke, or maybe someone was jealous. So I continued getting ready. Soon, it was time to walk down the aisle. The music started. The doors opened. Everyone stood up. I held my father's arm and took my first step forward. Then I froze. At the end of the aisle, standing next to Daniel, was my sister, Lyra. But she was not standing there as a guest. She was wearing a white dress, my dress, and she was smiling like she was the bride. My mind went blank. My father looked at me in shock. "What is this?" I whispered. Before I could move, Lyra spoke loudly. "I'm sorry, Ilara, but this wedding is mine now." The guests started to whisper. My heart felt like it stopped. I looked at Daniel. He did not look surprised. And in that moment, I realized something was very wrong. I could not breathe. My chest felt tight, like something heavy was sitting on it. The music stopped, but the silence was even worse. Everyone was looking at me. Some people looked confused, some looked excited, like they were watching a drama. "Lyra, what are you doing?" I asked. My voice was shaking. She stepped closer to Daniel and held his arm. "I'm doing what should have happened from the beginning," she said calmly. I looked at Daniel again. "Say something," I whispered. "Please." He looked at the ground for a moment, then at me. His face was serious, but not kind like before. "Ilara, I didn't want you to find out like this," he said. My heart broke a little more. "Find out what?" I asked. Lyra smiled again, but this time it felt cold. "That he loves me," she said. "Not you." The words hit me like a strong wind. I felt weak, like I might fall. "That's not true," I said quickly. "Daniel, tell her she's wrong." But he stayed silent. The guests started to whisper louder now. I heard someone say, "This is unbelievable." Another person said, "Poor girl." My father stepped forward. "This is not funny," he said angrily. "Stop this now." But Lyra did not move. "I'm not joking," she said. "Daniel and I have been talking for months. We understand each other. We connect in a way he never could with Ilara." I felt tears in my eyes, but I tried not to cry. "Then why didn't you tell me?" I asked Daniel. "Why did you let me plan everything? Why did you let me believe this was real?" He looked uncomfortable. "I didn't know how," he said softly. "I didn't want to hurt you." I laughed, but it sounded empty. "You didn't want to hurt me. Then what is this?" Lyra stepped forward again. "Ilara, you should be thankful," she said. "I saved you from a marriage that would not last." Her words made something inside me change. The sadness was still there, but now there was also anger. "You didn't save me," I said slowly. "You betrayed me." She rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic." At that moment, I noticed something strange. The wedding planner from the venue was standing near the side, looking very nervous. I knew her well because I had worked with her before. She kept looking at Lyra and then at me, like she wanted to say something. I walked a few steps forward. "If this is true," I said, "then show me." Lyra frowned. "Show you what?" "The truth," I said. "When did this start? How long have you been lying to me?" Daniel opened his mouth, but Lyra answered first. "It doesn't matter," she said. "What matters is that we are together now." "That's not an answer," I said. My voice was stronger now. I felt something new inside me. Not just pain, but a need to understand everything. "Tell me the truth," I repeated. Daniel took a deep breath. "It started a few weeks ago," he said. "We talked more, and I realized I had feelings for her." A few weeks? That didn't make sense. I remembered the night I heard them talking. That was more than a few weeks ago. "You're lying," I said quietly. Both of them looked surprised. "I heard you," I continued. "That night at home, you were already close. This didn't start a few weeks ago." Lyra's face changed for a second, but then she smiled again. "You misunderstood," she said. "No," I said. I didn't. The room felt tense. No one was speaking now. Everyone was waiting. Then my phone buzzed again. I looked at it slowly. Another message from the same unknown number. Ask him about the night at the Blue Orchid Hotel. My heart started beating fast again. I looked up at Daniel. What happened at the Blue Orchid Hotel? I asked. His face turned pale. Lyra quickly spoke. Nothing. Don't listen to this. Someone is trying to ruin our day. Our day? I repeated. I stepped closer to Daniel. Answer me. He did not speak. Answer me, I said louder. Finally, he looked at me, but his eyes were full of something I had never seen before. Fear. It's not what you think, he said. Then tell me what it is, I replied. Before he could answer, the wedding planner suddenly walked forward. I'm sorry, she said. I can't stay quiet anymore. Everyone turned to her. She looked at me with worried eyes. You deserve to know the truth, she said. Lyra's smile disappeared. What truth? I asked. The planner took a deep breath. The night at the Blue Orchid Hotel was not what they told you. My heart felt like it was about to explode. What do you mean? I asked. She hesitated, then said slowly, that night, Daniel was not there with Lyra by choice. The room went silent again, and suddenly, everything I thought I knew began to fall apart. Situations like this can happen in real life, not always in a wedding, but in relationships where trust is broken. Sometimes, people hide the truth because they are afraid or selfish, but lies always create bigger problems. For example, a person may hide a secret relationship thinking it will not be discovered. But when the truth comes out, it causes pain not only to one person, but to many people. This story reminds us that honesty is very important in any relationship. I felt like the ground under my feet was gone. My ears were ringing, and I could not hear anything for a moment. Then the sound slowly came back, and I heard whispers again. Everyone was waiting. What do you mean? Not by choice, I asked. My voice was quiet but sharp. The wedding planner looked at Daniel, then at me. I was there that night, she said. I was working at the hotel. I saw everything. Lyra stepped forward quickly. This is ridiculous, she said. She's lying. But the planner shook her head. No, I stayed quiet because I thought it was not my place, but today, I can't watch this happen. I turned to Daniel. Look at me, I said. He slowly raised his eyes. Tell me the truth, I whispered. Right now. His lips moved, but no words came out. Fine, I said, turning back to the planner. You tell me. She nodded. That night, Daniel checked into the hotel alone. He looked stressed, like something was wrong. Later, your sister arrived. She went to his room. My heart started beating faster again. At first, I thought they were just meeting, she continued. But then I heard loud voices. They were arguing. Stop, Lyra said sharply. You don't know anything. But the planner did not stop. Daniel kept saying he loved you, she said, looking at me. He said he wanted to marry you. He told her to leave. I felt a small light inside me, but I was afraid to believe it. That's not true, Lyra shouted. The planner raised her voice for the first time. It is true. I heard it clearly. The room was filled with tension. What happened next? I asked. The planner hesitated, then said, Your sister. She threatened him. I froze. Threatened him? I repeated. Daniel closed his eyes. Yes, the planner said. She said she would ruin his life. She said she would tell people lies about him. She said she would destroy your relationship if he didn't agree to meet her again. I felt like I was in a nightmare. I looked at Lyra. Is that true? She laughed, but it sounded forced. She's making stories. Then why won't he speak? I asked. All eyes turned to Daniel. He looked broken now. Because it's true, he said quietly. The words fell like stones. I stepped back. You were forced? I asked. He nodded slowly. At first, yes. She kept calling me, messaging me. She said if I told you, she would hurt you or ruin your work. My mind was racing. And you believed her? I asked. I didn't know what to do, he said. I was scared. She knows people. She has connections. I thought I could handle it alone. Lyra crossed her arms. You're both so dramatic. I looked at her, and now I saw her clearly. Not as my sister, but as someone I did not know. Why? I asked. Why would you do this to me? Her face changed. For a moment, I saw something real. Something dark. Because I was always second, she said. You were the good one, the calm one, the one everyone trusted. I was tired of it. So you tried to take my life? I asked. I tried to take what should have been mine, she said coldly. Daniel shook his head. This is wrong, Lyra. I never loved you. Her eyes flashed with anger. You will, she said. You just don't see it yet. No, he said firmly. I won't. The room felt heavy again. I looked at Daniel. Why didn't you tell me everything? I wanted to protect you, he said, but I made it worse. I'm sorry. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But the pain was still there. And today? I asked. What is this? Lyra smiled again, but now it looked desperate. Today is simple, she said. I win. But before anyone could react, another voice spoke. Not anymore. We all turned. A man in a dark suit walked into the room. I did not know him, but Lyra did. Her face turned white. Who are you? I asked. He looked at me calmly. My name is Victor Hale, he said. And I think it's time the truth becomes official. Lyra stepped back. You can't be here, she said quickly, but the man ignored her. He held up a small device. I have recordings, he said. Messages. Proof of threats, lies, and manipulation. The room exploded with noise. Gasps. Whispers. Shock. I felt like I could not move. Why are you doing this? I asked him. He looked at Lyra, then back at me. Because, he said slowly, she tried the same thing to someone else before. My heart stopped. What? I whispered. Lyra shook her head wildly. No, that's not true. But Victor continued. And that person didn't survive the truth. Everything went silent. I felt cold, very cold. And suddenly, I realized this was not just betrayal. This was something much darker. I could not move. My hands were cold, and my heart felt heavy. The room was silent again. But this silence was different. It was full of fear. What do you mean, didn't survive? I asked. My voice was shaking. Victor Hale looked at me with serious eyes. A year ago, he said slowly, your sister was involved with another man. His name was Adrian. He trusted her. He loved her. I looked at Lyra. She was pale now, her confident smile gone. What happened to him? I asked. Victor took a deep breath. He lost everything. His job, his friends, his reputation. False stories spread about him. He became alone, and one day, he disappeared. A chill ran through my body. Are you saying she did that? I whispered. Yes, Victor said, and I have proof. Lyra suddenly shouted, Stop! You don't know anything about me! But her voice was not strong anymore. It was full of fear. Daniel stepped closer to me. Ilara, I didn't know about this, he said. I swear. I looked at him. His eyes were honest, but my heart was still broken. I don't know what to believe anymore, I said. Victor walked forward and handed his phone to my father. You can see the messages, he said. The threats. The lies. My father looked at the screen and his face changed. He looked angry and hurt. Lyra, he said slowly, is this true? She said nothing. Answer me, he shouted. Finally she spoke, but her voice was quiet. They were weak, she said. Both of them. I felt tears fall down my face. They trusted you, I said. And that was their mistake, she replied. Those words broke something inside me completely. I took a step back. You are not my sister, I said softly. She looked at me, but there was no emotion in her eyes. Daniel turned to me. Ilara, please, he said. I know I made mistakes, but I never stopped loving you. I was afraid. I thought I could fix everything alone. I closed my eyes for a moment. I wanted to believe him. But trust is like glass. Once it breaks, it is hard to fix. You should have told me, I said. We could have faced it together. I know, he said, and I will regret that forever. The guests were slowly leaving. The wedding was over before it even began. I looked at my dress, the one Lyra was still wearing. Take it off, I said calmly. She did not move. This is not your life to steal, I added. For the first time, she looked unsure. Then she turned and walked away without saying another word. That was the last time I saw her. Days passed. The house felt empty. My heart felt even emptier. Daniel tried to talk to me many times. He apologized again and again. I listened, but I needed time. One evening, I met him by the sea. I don't hate you, I said, but I can't forget everything so quickly. I understand, he replied. I just want a chance to make things right. I looked at the waves. They were calm, like they did not care about anything. Maybe one day, I said. But not today. He nodded. I'll wait. And for the first time in many days, I felt a small sense of peace. I did not lose everything. I lost an illusion. And sometimes, that is the beginning of something real. This story teaches us that trust is very important in every relationship. When people lie or hide the truth, they create pain for everyone. We must be honest, even when the truth is difficult. Also, not everyone who is close to us truly cares about us. We should learn to see people clearly and protect our hearts. And most importantly, we must value ourselves and never allow others to control or hurt us. Now, let's take a moment to improve your English. Many learners make small mistakes when speaking about past events. One common mistake is using the wrong verb tense. For example, some people say, "He don't tell me the truth." This is incorrect. The correct sentence is, "He didn't tell me the truth." When we talk about the past, we use did not or didn't plus the base form of the verb. Another common mistake is confusing say and tell. For example, "He said me the truth" is wrong. We should say, "He told me the truth." We use tell when there is a person after it. Also, be careful with prepositions. Many learners say, "I was afraid from him." The correct sentence is, "I was afraid of him." Let's look at one more example. Some people say, "She make me feel sad." This is incorrect in the past. The correct sentence is, "She made me feel sad." Try to practice these corrections every day. Small improvements can make a big difference in your English. Now, it's time to learn some useful vocabulary from the story. Betray means to hurt someone who trusts you. For example, Lyra betrayed Ilara. Threaten means to say you will harm someone if they do not do what you want. Trust means to believe that someone is honest and good. Fear is a strong feeling when you think something bad will happen. Truth means what is real and not a lie. Lie means to say something that is not true. Regret means to feel sad about something you did wrong. Protect means to keep someone safe from harm. Confident means feeling sure about yourself. Desperate means feeling like you have no hope and will do anything. Try to use these words in your own sentences. This will help you remember them better. Now, it's time to practice your speaking. Listen and repeat after me. I trusted you. You lied to me. I feel hurt. I want the truth. I'm not afraid anymore. This is my life. I will move forward. I deserve better. Practice these sentences slowly. Focus on clear pronunciation and emotion. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you learned something new and improved your English. Now, I have some questions for you. What would you do if you were Ilara? Do you think she should forgive Daniel? And how important is trust in your life? Write your answers in the comments. See you next time.